Hello everyone. Let us start with new topic today, that is salient features of the Indian Constitution. It is one of the very important topic from prelims as well as mains point of view, and we need to have a brief idea about what this constitution contains. Once we are very clear about every aspect of constitution, then it becomes very easy to understand next points in our polity. Basically, the questions in UPSC mains are mainly analytical type, and to write answers on those analytical questions, you should have a very clear understanding of each and every term given in the constitution. So here our main purpose shall be to understand every point in a brief manner. So let us start with salient features of the Indian Constitution. Before going into the features of the Indian Constitution, here I want to explain you certain key terms which comes in our Constitution time and again. First thing, what is Constitution? So basically, Constitution is fundamental law of the land. Law. What is law? These are certain rules and regulations which are universal, which are equally applicable to everyone, which are very essential to treat every person equally without any kind of discrimination. So constitution is fundamental law of the land. So basically, constitution is a book which contain all essential laws, rules and regulations which are necessary to run this country in a democratic manner, to establish a welfare state. So it is a book. Now since every book has an introduction, same is the case. Our constitution also has an introduction which is given in preamble. So preamble is nothing but an introduction to our constitution, which is fundamental law of the land, which is most important book to govern this country. Now this constitution has various articles. As we have seen, every book has certain chapters. So same is the case. Since our constitution is a book, this book has various chapters. Those chapters are called as parts of the Indian Constitution. Now, this every part, that is every chapter of the Indian Constitution has various points. Those points are nothing but articles of the Indian Constitution. And this every article has been classified, has been grouped into smaller points, smaller articles. They are called as clauses and sub-clauses. So basically, Indian Constitution is a book. It contains various chapters like parts of the Constitution. Every part of the constitution contains various important points like articles of the constitution. Every article of the constitution contains various smaller points which are called as clauses of the constitution. Now, next important thing, then what are schedules of the constitution? We have seen in many books that at the end of the book, various important tables, charts, infographics and important informative booklets are provided at the end of the book. Right. So same is the case. Our constitution also has certain important charts, certain important infographics, certain important information booklets at the end of the constitution. So these important information booklet or chart at the end of the constitution are schedules of the Indian Constitution. If you go through schedules of the Indian Constitution, you will realize that they contain lot of information compressed at one place. Next important point, amendment of the constitution. So constitution is a book and you can make changes into the constitution under article 368. So whatever changes that are being made into the Indian constitution is called as amendment of the constitution. These bills are variously known as constitutional amendment bill or constitutional amendment act. So these are amendment of the constitution. These are certain basic terms related with the constitution. Now just few minutes back we have seen what is constitution. It is fundamental law of the land to govern this necessary. Why this fundamental law of the land was necessary? Because India was ruled by Britishers for more than 150 plus years. And while ruling this country, Britishers were not like Britishers. Now what it means? Britishers were not like Britishers. It means that Britishers had followed certain rules, certain laws, certain regulations and certain democratic methods in their own country, that is in Britain. And they were famous in the world as that Britishers are democratic, so they were called as Britishers. But same Britishers, when they were governing India, they were not like Britishers. It means they were not democratic. they were misusing power, they were corrupt, they used various extermination, they used various exploitative method on Indians, so they were not like Britishers. So when we got independence, we wanted to have a democratic nation. But to have a democratic nation, you should have certain laws, certain rules, certain regulations, certain universal codes, a list of rules which can govern this country in a democratic manner. So all these laws, rules, regulations and certain set of rules which are codified, which are written in a single book is Indian Constitution. So it is fundamental law of the land. Next very important point from prelims point of view, we adopted Indian Constitution on 26th of November 1949. Remember this date, it is very important. We have made several changes into our constitution through Constitutional Amendment Act under Article 368. Certain notable constitutional amendment which should be remembered, which should be studied thoroughly from UPSC prelims point as well as mains point of view are 7th Amendment Act, 42nd Amendment Act, 44th Amendment Act, 73rd and 74th Amendment Act. These are certain important amendment act which you should go through very thoroughly. Next important point, majority part of the Indian Constitution has been borrowed from Government of India Act 1935. Remember this thing. This is very important beat for prelims. Remember, majority part of the Indian Constitution has been borrowed from Government of India Act 1935. Very important. 42nd Amendment Act is called as mini constitution. Why? Because in the era, 42nd Amendment Act was brought in the year 1976, that is after emergency. So remember, 42nd Amendment Act was brought after emergency in the year 1976 by Indira Gandhi. Why it is called as mini constitution? 42nd Amendment Act has tried to make certain fundamental changes into the Indian Constitution. They tried to somewhere change the paradigm basis of Indian Constitution, is the reason why 42nd Amendment Act is called as mini constitution. Remember 2 points which can be used in your introduction of your mains answer, or which are very important from prelims point of view. First point, majority part of Indian Constitution has been borrowed from Government of India Act 1935. Second important point, 42nd Amendment Act is called as mini constitution. Third important factual point which you should remember, there is a concept of basic structure in Indian Constitution. Remember first point, the concept of basic structure is not written anywhere in the Constitution. Second thing, the concept of basic structure is not defined by the Constitution. It is not written in the Constitution, it is not defined by the Constitution. The basic structure is a novel concept given by Indian judiciary. It is given by Indian judiciary on 24th of April 1973 in Keshavananda Bharati case. This factual bit must be remembered by everyone. The concept of basic structure of the Indian Constitution is given by judiciary in Keshavananda Bharati case on 24th of April 1973. We are going to study the concept of basic structure of Indian Constitution in detail in next few lectures. Third next very important point, Article 368, that is Constitutional Amendment Article. Article 368 gives an amending power to the Parliament without violating basic structure of the Indian Constitution. It means under Article 368, since I have used the word power, it means you can amend Constitution the way you want. Yes, the line is very important. You can amend the Constitution the way you want, but while making changes, while amending the Constitution, you should not violate basic structure of the Indian Constitution. It means you cannot make changes in the Indian Constitution based on your own whims and fancies. Whenever you are going to make changes into Indian Constitution, you have to take care that these amendments, these laws, these changes should not violate basic structure of Indian Constitution given by Keshavananda Bharati case on 24th of April 1973. Now let us start with the first important feature of the Indian Constitution. Indian Constitution is one of the lengthiest constitution in the world. Second, Indian Constitution is a written constitution. So these two things are very important. It is lengthiest constitution, it is written constitution. What is significance of these two things? We'll try to understand in a very simpler manner. It is original constitution. We can see it from the factual data. Original constitution, which was adopted on 26th of November 1949, it contained a preamble, then 395 articles, 22 parts and 8 schedules were there. Currently, Indian constitution has a preamble. It has more than 460 plus articles. It means we added these articles through Constitutional Amendment Act. So currently Indian constitution has more than 460 plus articles, 25 parts are there and total 12 schedules are there in Indian constitution. Plus we can make changes, we can make addition into the constitution the way we wish, the way there is need to have development into Indian constitution. So this size, this factual data gives the gigantic size of the Indian constitution. Now, just we have seen few minutes back that Indian constitution is lengthiest constitution in the world. It is written constitution in the world. Now we'll try to understand what is significance of having written constitution. Right? What was the significance? See, we were ruled by Britishers, and as I told you, Britishers were not democratic while ruling India. They were undemocratic. They manipulated laws, they manipulated rules, they manipulated rulers, they manipulated princes in India for their own benefit. Why? Because there was no single written document to govern all these things. When we were on the verge of getting independence, at that time we felt that we should have a book of rules, we should have a set of rules to govern this nation. Why set of rules? Because Lord Acton has said at a place very nicely, power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. It was very, very clear that Britishers are leaving India. But while leaving India, they were transferring power in the hands of freedom fighters. The political part, the movement, Indian National Congress was about to get this power getting transferred from Britishers into their own hand. Now, a classic case, a classic thing came into the mind of everyone, that it is very true that everyone in Indian National Congress have fought for the independence very valiantly, very bravely. But there are chances that when this power goes into the hands of a particular person, goes into the hands of a group, goes into the hand of a section, the power might make them corrupt. Human being is not corrupt. The power which is getting into their own hand might make them corrupt. So this fear was there. So to avoid that particular fear, it was felt that we should have a written constitution. Why written constitution? Because written constitution act as a reference point to check the legislative actions, to check the executive action, to check the actions of those in power, whether they have used every power as per the constitutional provisions or not. And if at all anyone tries to breach, tries to violate the constitutional provision, we can refer constitution and we can call them that whatever you did is wrong, and we can place restrictions on those people that you have to make everything as per the given in the constitution. So this is most important thing, that having a written constitution prevents misuse of constitutional provision, prevents misuse of power given in the hands of legislature and executive. It ensures that liberty of every individual, fundamental right given to every individual, will be protected in true word and spirit. That's why we have written constitution. When we compare our constitution with rest of the other countries, we will realize that America also has a written constitution. British constitution is an unwritten constitution. See, many people have this confusion. Since Britain do not have constitution, many people feel that Britain do not have constitution. I want to make one point very, very clear. Britain has a constitution. Remember this thing, Britain has a constitution. This thing must be remembered very clearly in your mind. Britain has a constitution. The only thing is that British constitution is not written. How can it possible? If Britain has a constitution and it is not written, then where is the constitution? So So this question is being answered through in a simple manner. Where is the Constitution of Britain? So various laws made by Parliament is part of British Constitution. Second thing, various previous charters issued by Queen and King are part of British Constitution. Various conventions of British parliamentary system is part of British Constitution. Various traditions which are being followed at the moment in Britain is part of British Constitution, and certain judicial pronouncement which are being given in Britain is part of British Constitution. So remember this thing very clearly. Britain has a constitution, remember this thing. And then what is British Constitution? Laws made by Parliament, various charters issued by Queen and King, various conventions which are being followed in Britain, various traditions and judicial pronouncement are part of the British Constitution. India has a written constitution. Written constitution helps in protecting the basic structure of the Indian Constitution. Remember, my friends, we are going to study the topic of basic structure in very detail, in a very interesting manner. We will have a complete understanding of the topic on basic structure of the Indian Constitution. Then Indian Constitution is one of the lengthiest constitution in the world. Why? Because Indian Constitution contains principles as well as provisions. What it means? Now, if we compare Indian Constitution with American Constitution, Indian Constitution is one of the lengthiest constitution in the world. American Constitution is one of the smallest constitution in the world. Why? Because American Constitution contain only principles. Let us say, for an example, American Constitution contain one principle: civil service in America should be merit based. That's it. Now, it shall be duty of executive, it shall be duty of President of America, and it shall be duty of various states in America to look into the matter how civil service in America can be made merit based. Right. So, American Constitution contain only principles, but Indian Constitution contains principles as well as provisions. How the difference? Indian Constitution says that civil service in India should be merit based. Right. Same like America. But there are certain more additional points in Indian Constitution. Indian Constitution also says that there shall be Union Public Service Commission to ensure merit-based civil service. Then it also says that this shall be the composition of Union Public Service Commission. This shall be qualifications of Union Public Service Commission members. It says these shall be the functions of Union Public Service Commission. See, American Constitution contains only one line: civil service in America should be merit based. Our Constitution contains these many numbers of lines only for center. Then our Constitution also says that to ensure civil service merit based in states, there shall be state public service commissions. Then composition of state public service commissions, functions of state public service commission, and also it also says that there shall be joint state public service commission for 2 and more than 2 states. This is basic difference between Indian Constitution and American Constitution. American Constitution contains only principles. Indian Constitution contains principles as well as provisions in the Indian Constitution. This is important reason. Second important reason, geographical factors. From Kashmir to Kanyakumari, from Porbandar to Silchar, if you look at the language, race, then your religion, then all kinds of diversity, our Constitution has made an attempt to give respect to the needs, requirement and dignity of every section of the Indian society. That's why Indian Constitution is one of the largest constitution in the world. Historical factor, British legacy, one of the most important factor. Keep this point in mind from mains point of view. And influence of Government of India Act 1935. This act itself was very bulky act, and we borrowed this act. So these two things, British legacy and Government of India Act 1935, has made Indian Constitution one of the lengthiest constitution in the world. Why? Because this act was one of the bulkiest act in the historical development of Indian Constitution. Now, third important point, we have single constitution for both center as well as state. That's why our Constitution has been quite larger. In case of America, they have separate constitution for center as well as state. It means every state has its own separate constitution, and in case of India, we have single constitution. And last reason why Indian constitution is lengthiest, the dominance of legal luminaries. If you go through the composition of Constituent Assembly, majority member in the Constituent Assembly were lawyers. And the lawyers felt that every word, every sentence, every line in the constitution is prone for varied many interpretations and misinterpretations. So they felt that to avoid all kinds of misinterpretations and interpretations of this constitution and to avoid confusion while interpreting the constitution by next generations, they said that everything must be written in a very clear language in the Indian constitution. So they said that Indian constitution should be written in a very clear specified manner. Whatever it takes the cost, whether it is becoming lengthy or not, everything should be written in a very clear and specified manner. Thank you very much.